So today I'm just going to go and look for entries on coins based on your guys' suggestions. Not really looking to get into anything yet. I want, when we have a big move like we did and then followed by, news. Um, Today Trump is supposedly set to sign three or two crypto executive orders. So that will be bullish. It will send coins up. Actually, I just posted another video yesterday. It's the market top is in almost. But my high time frame thought process hasn't really changed. I still think we go to 120 to 130K, and then we have a blow off top for April, end of March, April, and then there's still a possibility, like I said in the video, that we are going to have a pump similar to what we did on the second um, leg up here back in November. Well, from July through November, right? So that's what I expect. Again, I have my invalidation level. I could be wrong, but I'm still going to play it as if, because we already have our fifth wave structure. At this moment, we still have it. So even if we go higher, it's still going to be in play. So I'm not really deviating away from that. And if we take a look at Bitcoin here, even on the trend line, right? I've mentioned, you're going to keep playing the trend until it's your friend, right? We didn't really break down from the trend line. Actually, this was a 2 hour order block that we filled perfectly, grabbed most of the liquidity yesterday, and we are still pumping from it. Now we are at resistance here, okay? Um, this daily still hasn't flipped it into support, but looking at this just tells that if we close above here 106, it just says that we're going to go much higher. Um, so I'm not really trying to short anything, and like I said, alts were poised to pump. Um, I wasn't really interested in shorting anything just randomly. I still expect alts to pump, right? I discussed this yesterday in my video, really briefly again. Okay, Bitcoin dominance is completely starting to break out here. But if we reject from this point, okay, around 59%, put in another lower high, and then we can continue grind down to 54%. Hopefully we go, here up until like sometime in April, and then we have the blow off top. So I still do think alts will continue to run. I rotated most of my profits from Sol into ETH. ETH is lagging. It will eventually pump, in my opinion. Now looking at this. I said if you guys wanted to long yesterday, with stops or invalidation below 3K, that was your play. I am personally in this long myself. I'm actually almost break even. My entry was around 33.20ish when I made the video. I did not DCA, it's just one position, and I'm looking for a move up to range highs here around 4K. So, is my audio acting weird? Can you guys hear me? Okay, then it's not my problem. Anyways, we have a falling wedge here on ETH. Okay. I do think eventually this is going to break out. So again, longing here with invalidation below 3K is what I would do. Now I know the stop is wide, so it's not going to be a hell of a lot of or a big position. I'm only going into this with 2%, 3% of my portfolio, one entry, one stop loss, the daily under 3K, and I'm targeting 4K and hopefully higher. So that's what I'm doing. About if we do go down this level, this SR point around 2800 is the buy zone. That is where you want to buy. But looking at this, we have a simple PO3, right? We have accumulation, we have deviation, and then we have expansion. Okay, simple PO3. That's what I'm playing it as. Um, Whereas, if people thought this was a head and shoulders, okay, well, I got something to show you. People also thought that this was a head and shoulders. people also thought that this was a head and shoulders. What happened? Continued to rip. All right, so same thing here. As long as we're above 3K, I think we should expand to the upside. Um, now, before, and I'm going to cover all the Trump coins that I said only because I said them. Aave or Ave, however you want to say it, okay? This is an ETH beta. It's also one of the coins that Trump has been buying consistently. So I do think that this is a good buy. And here, I got out of this position, so I don't need this chart. Actually, let's go to a perp chart. Okay. If you guys know me and how I like to play flips, this had a perfect flip recently. Okay, we had the resistance here, right? There's the breakout, there's the flip of resistance, and this gave you a nice move up. All right, so now our resistance here is the boss level. Above this, it's going to go, and I mean like go. So I wouldn't long anything here. I'd look for minute pullbacks, and by minute, I'm talking about low time frame trades. So probably, I don't know if we get this pullback into this order block. The reason for that is because let me remove this noise really quickly. Okay, so we have this order block, right? But you can also say that we have some type of rising wedge here as well. All right, not a very clean one, but it's still a rising wedge. Okay, so if we get this dip into here, although the technical targets of the rising wedge are much lower, if we do get this dip and market doesn't completely collapse, I think that this could be a good potential long setup. Okay, very tight stops, something like that. I'm not interested in shorts, but if you really, want to fight the trend and you are, super horny for shorts, then you're going to short resistance until it breaks out. But if we do go up there and reject, you have, an inverse head and shoulders forming. Okay, so I am unbiased. I will give all, forms of TA here. So let me just give you the potential short setup if you decide to take it. Okay, this would most likely be a 4-hour soft stop loss because we see here, right? Like if you were to get wicked out, it happened multiple times. So I would wait until a 4-hour soft stop loss. If we close above 384, then you can close out your shorts. Not 384, sorry. Above, motherfucker. 394. Okay, so this would be okay. So we can easily wick above here, right? But as soon as we close above 394, that's when you're going to close. So let me post both these charts. And the 2-hour. Yeah, no worries, man. I always post them. I just wanted to go over. The Bitcoin and ETH one are in my channel, so I'm not gonna repost them, but I can if you want me to. Here's the ETH one. Whoops. Looks like a fifth grader drew on my chart. If you don't want to know what these are, that's all discussed in the video. Okay, so ENA is next, the next Trump coin. Okay, I don't want to use this chart. I'm still in the spot position. So let's take a look at this one. Actually, I prefer Binance or Bybit because that's where I'm trading. Okay, so I don't remember who said this last time. I haven't really changed it, right? Here is a simple range. Okay, I think I posted this last week. I can go back and check the notes. Right, I said if we go into mid-range, we reject back down to range lows. Range lows perfectly hit, and now we're going back to mid-range. So I think that I mean I only take requests from here. I have my own chart that isn't this, so this played out perfectly, right? Um, Now looking for setups when you have something like this is difficult. Like when you have basically no movement, it's pretty difficult. So if I were to look for cleaner setups, okay, you have a bullish Quasimodo here, right? So you have lower low, lower high, lower low, right, into a higher high, into a higher low. So that was a point to get long. Now you have this weird descending wedge, okay? Like this is very hard to do any type of TA on when you have price action like that, but like I said, the trend is your friend until broken. So if the Trump coins remain strong, this would be the area where you play. Stop loss below previous lows. TP1, TP2, probably TP3. Okay, so something like that, and then higher hopefully. Now, I'm not saying as if we get these bids. Now, if I were to draw fibs from here, if you had drawn bullish fibs from the swing lows to the swing highs, it bounced perfectly from the golden pocket. But let's draw it from here to here. The golden pocket would be your DCA. So entry would be around, oops, entry would be around here at 90.4 cents. DCA around 86.4 cents. Okay, so something like that. Okay. Now I'm gonna start taking you guys' suggestions. So the first one's hook. Wait, is this the oldest chart? Because this chart looks like absolute dog shit. I think I covered this last time. Yeah, last Tuesday I covered it. It's lost the lows and it's turned into resistance. This probably wants to go lower. I wouldn't get into a long until this is reclaimed. This is making all-time lows. I wouldn't get into it until it comes back up, retests, confirms the flip into after a deviation, and something like that. But after my last cover on this, it pumped 14%. but it's in a downtrend. This is probably going to go much lower unless it reclaims and puts in a deviation. Otherwise, if we reject from here, then this point send this coin to 0. Bet. I'm going in order, guys. To be honest, this coin, well, let's leave this how it is. Okay, it broke down, it retested and dumping, but I'm going to draw a different trend line here. I'm going to make this blue and I'm going to make it thick. 1 second. Okay, so looking at this here, we have, here was a, inverse head and shoulders, a mini one, right? Again, or sorry, head and shoulders. But looking at this now, we have left, head, right, bounce from it. I don't see any strength in this coin. I'm still in it long term, and I'm riding it either to 0 or higher break even. But there's absolutely no strength in AI coins outside of meme AI coins, right? Like fart coin and garbage like that. But actual coins that have real um, use cases aren't really doing well. So still, my analysis hasn't changed. If we get a dip into a double bottom, that is where you're going to buy, and most likely it's going to be a spot position. I'm riding my long-term bags to either 0 or hopefully we can get an exit pump that I can get out break even. But as of right now, either this is setting up for accumulation or this is just on its way to die. But I don't see any good longs to be taken here. Let me check. No, not a strong one. RSI is getting back to 50. Possible reset. That was the area to long. I'd be looking for shorts on this more. So like if we get a pump into there, that is a short. I'm not saying we will anytime soon, but that is one attempt of a play. Now I can draw this to 1,000,000. It doesn't mean that's the final TP. You'll have to take profits at levels of resistance for longs and TPs, at support for shorts. All right. So when I make calls like this, unless it's in my channel, I won't give TPs. It's all discretionary based on how you guys want to do it. I'm not taking any of these unless I give it in my channel. But another short attempt. A little above the golden pocket with DCA at 1.53. There's no reason to long this coin until the trend is broken, and that becomes, this would be your trigger for a long. Up, reclaim, and possibly, long scalp into a hedge short at the same time. Sorry, guys. Okay. So this is FET. Nothing really special on this one. Tau. Yeah, again, another AI coin, right? not really doing anything. The narrative just isn't there at the moment. However, this put in a double bottom. So if we are to pump, it's going to be from here, and we can see that double bottoms relatively do well, right? Like if we take a look at Dogecoin, for example, okay, actually it was right here. When you put in a double bottom, okay, there's the breakout, there's the retest, flipped it to support here, and again, bounced right at support. Same thing with Tau, right? Double bottom. So if you really want to long this coin, like this would be the only area to do so. Otherwise, you are aiming for much lower. Like it needs to hold this area. So this would most likely be your play. Your R&R is just a little bit shit, but this would be the setup. But again, there's no strength in AI coins right now. Like yesterday, it just pumped 8%, whereas Sol, for example, from yesterday's low to the high is much higher. Bitcoin is half of this, and it's sad because this is a lower cap coin compared to Bitcoin. So how is Bitcoin only pumped much more than this, right? So this wouldn't be a strong coin to play. You want to focus on coins with volatility and actually going up with Bitcoin instead of like this. But this would be your setup for Tau right now. There's only one setup for this, and then obviously the short at the range highs. Back down to the lows. Now a safer long would be at this order block. Not sure if we get it, but that would be the safer long with reduced risk and higher. But if you want to long right now, stops would be below those lows. By the way, I never give anything market order on leverage plays. It will never be something that I do. Another AI coin. Why are these like back to back to back? That's disgusting, candle. That's disgusting. This probably goes lower. Again, bounce. They're bouncing perfectly from whatever lines I had before. But this hasn't broken trend. It's still making another lower low. Failed to break above here. Actually rejected perfectly from this bearish order block. If this is to possibly bounce, structurally, we failed to put in a higher high here, so it goes back down to make a lower low. But if it is to get a possible short-term bounce, maybe from here. This will go lower from here because that's a disgusting candle. That's not strong at all. This probably goes lower from here. Again, the strength in AI coins are non-existent, but if you are wanting to take a possible scalp, right, here is, again, range highs, rejection. Safest longs would be, above this level, flip it to support. Otherwise, this either goes down to make a new lower low, or you're taking this long setup. Now this would most likely be a triple tap, a triple bottom formation. You have the first touch, you have a sweep, come back down for a second, or sorry, for the third touch, and then back into here. Now again, I'd be patient until either this level is flipped to support to long, or you're going to long down here. But this most likely comes back down. And as always, play the range until broken. We're currently on the mid-range level. So if we are to get a short-term bounce, this is where it would be from. Okay, range highs, mid-range, range lows. And it's just this candle gives you no place to stop, so I wouldn't take this long at mid-range. What coin is this? Wild. ENS. Whoa, what the fuck? Okay. So clear resistance there. That's probably our range lows. This is a diamond formation. It's usually bearish. Well, not bearish, but we have no way of playing this until it actually plays out. Okay. Yes, the diamond formation is an actual pattern. So right. If we are bullish, we should hold this trend line and bounce from it. Otherwise, go to a lower time frame. Yeah, we should come to it and bounce if we are bullish. I'm going to stay on this lower time frame here. Stops below there and target higher. Now, I think this is also an ETH beta, so if ETH runs, this should run as well. Let's see, from the bottom to the highs, 9%, whereas ETH what time was that? Monday at 22. Monday at 22. Yeah. So if ETH runs, this will run as well. But that's where I'd most likely look to long. And short term, that's where I'd be looking to short. Very liquid coin. Volume is basically non-existent when you have wicks like this. So something like that. Fart coin and bonk. Let me go to a perp chart actually. Okay. So we have a Quasimodo. Lower low to a lower high. So it either rejects here and comes back down, area I would love to get long, personally, would be here. I don't know if this, if this was just like a exit pump, but if this, actually has juice into it, this would be an area where you would get long. Come into it, right? Put in a double bottom. Everyone thinks it's over and then starts the new trend. At that point, you have a falling wedge of some sort and then goes higher. But right now, deviation back under usually sends us a little bit lower. We could come back and pump slightly, a quick scalp from here. This is an indecision candle. So a quick low time frame scalp. And I just don't like the risk to reward there. I would love 141. That's what I would do. Shorts with this is like hard to do because you have candles like this. But those are the two long attempts where I'd be looking to either scalp or swing. Bunk. Ooh, this one looks good. Daily bullish engulfing candle. Range. Range lows. Hmm. 4 hours a mess. Daily looks better. Maybe a push higher, come back down, then up. Oops. This looks like I don't know if this looks like, accumulation here for the next leg up, or if this actually like just a range forming before another move down. I can't imagine this being down, what is it, from its highs to current 40%. This has to run. Just don't know how high it will run. Either one, flip this into support, then it's an easy long, stop somewhere below, or a move back down into here. We have a bullish engulfing candle. So a move back into here, hold, and then higher. This could easily put in inverse head and shoulders here because we already have this rejection. So I wouldn't short this. Can you do Trump? I will not do Trump because that's gay. But I'll chart it. I'll get into the other ones. Let me just finish these. Where am I? Okay. The trend is still down. Now These coins are always hard to do TA on because TA honestly doesn't work when you have garbage come out from a sitting president. Especially coins like this. But you had a falling wedge. Technical targets of a falling wedge, okay, is back to basically all-time highs. If you are going too long, then you have only one invalidation here. So either you play the trend again, come back down. I don't know if we get back down into a double bottom, but either you have either this into a double bottom, you long, or scalp play. Very, very tight scalp play. Or if you want a swing play, right, back down to the trend line, stops below, target the highs. This would never be a coin that I touch, only because, yeah, well, only because you know how I feel about Trump. But the volatility is also insane. It's also a scam, so that would be the only plays. Short, possibly here. Very risky, because how volatile it is. And then the second short attempt would be something like that. I won't do Pengu because stupid, but I'll do APT. If you guys have like 3 or 4 suggestions, I'm only gonna pick one coin just for the sake of time. Okay. Failed to break above. Bearish structure still intact. Okay. Maybe a breakout and retest here, but this one failed. So if I was looking for a possible long attempt, hmm, yeah. If this doesn't break out, first of all, long attempt above here, right? Stops would be somewhere below here. But if we get a move down, this would most likely be the area too long. Stops below 786 fib and target higher. Now this has currently broken down. I'm not convinced by price action, especially Bitcoin. Just think low time frame rejected again, 106. Yeah, I might be flipping 106 into support here. But APT, flip 8.84 long or wait for this too long. Shorts, how does this look on the daily? Oh, head and shoulders. Shorts probably at the range highs. And then play the range until it's broken, right? Simple range. Let's go back to here. I'm going to put both of these charts. And here's the 1 hour. Trump is set to announce billions of dollars in private sector investments to build AI infrastructure in the United States. Trump to announce OpenAI, SoftBanks. Oh, that's why the candle. Makes sense. But it retraced. That's how you know the coins aren't strong, right? Like if we were actually strong, we would follow through, but we didn't. So yeah. Bonk ETF news. Is that why we're pumping? To be honest, I'm well removed from any news happening in the markets. I am very busy with tax season, so I don't have anything to check. Why the fuck would this coin get an ETF? This industry is becoming a joke. Flog. Yikes. It probably pumped because of the div, huh? If there was a div, let's see. Yeah. There was a bullish div. How do you play coins like this? Whenever we get to 70% RSI, we just dump. So I expect this to dump. Back to, where does it start pumping? Here's the trend line. So it starts pumping when we get to around 40. I don't know where that would be, but wherever the RSI is at 40, down to 35, which would put in another higher low on the daily, right? Yeah, 37. 40 to 37 is where I would long. Seems we get some pumps around that action, that RSI. Maybe it's here. Now, I don't know anything about the price action of this coin. So, probably something like that. Make a higher low. And grind higher. Let me see. I think it's actually going to be this order block here, but let me check. No, that stop loss placement. Drop it a little bit lower. Probably take a spot play on this one. Could you do hype? I just did hype in my channel. I gave a hype analysis, but I can do it again really briefly. One sec. So I mentioned that hype has a double bottom, and we need to get above this 24.5 level and flip it to support. My first TP was 25.2, missed by a pubic hair. and then it just rejected. It took out these highs here and came back down. So this probably goes a little bit lower because we just, took out these highs, came back down. We need to hold above this level here. Okay, if we can hold above this level, we should continue to push higher. Now, it doesn't help that the whole market took a little dip, but if we are able to flip this into support, then we will gun for first this 26.3 and then 30. Um, falling wedge, weird looking falling wedge, had a breakout and retest, double bottom, but again, we need to flip this into support, and currently I think we go lower because that was our first touch of resistance after we broke down from it. 1, 2, that was the third touch. So maybe a little bit lower. If you guys are looking to get into this coin, probably from 22 down to 20 is where I would buy. But I'm positioned already. I've been in this coin for a little bit longer than I would like to if it was a short-term play. But this looks good for higher if the market can just sustain consolidation. So this would be a spot play. I wouldn't recommend getting into this coin leverage because you have these wicks. So buying spot from 22 down to 20, in my opinion, if you get it. Otherwise, you can just build an average now down to $18 because I do think this will eventually 2 to 3x. The Melania coin only made it worse. Oh man, the things I've said in real life to people, I would get banned in other servers. Like, I wish. Never mind, I'm not gonna say it. This is being recorded. um, TRX. All right, TRX. Yikes. I'm still in a downtrend. We haven't broken above, right? So, okay. Technical wise, we should go down and make another uh, lower low. So if we do, if you really want to get into it, here's a demand zone to get into. Jesus Christ. That's what happens when Justin Trun is anything involved in this coin. Let me turn on. Nope, there's no divs. When you have a slow grind up like this would be something that I would avoid personally. Because these don't really move. When the market's moving, these don't really move, right? Like we saw ETH pump like 4%. Okay, like ETH is a high cap. This is a high cap coin, but this is relatively nothing. That you want to focus on coins that are volatile, like for example Sol, if you're looking for trades. Now this, I wouldn't get into longs above until this level is flipped to support. So if we flip it to support, it would be something as such. Okay, stops probably somewhere below here, a little bit higher, then you can place your stop losses. Otherwise, you're going to play this demand zone. Let me just get this chart up. TRX 4-hour, and structurally, you're looking for that next lower low, which should come here. I'd advise to stay away from this coin personally. That's just my suggestion. KMNO. My bad. Camino. Let's look at KuCoin. Again, structurally, it's just downhill from here. So if this is our last lower high, you're looking for a push above for that structure change too long. But this 4 hour or this daily could be putting in some type of reversal with here. That's a reversal candle. See how we had this little doji? Same thing forming here. So if that daily closes like this, you could possibly take a long scalp, and we are on support here. Well, reclaim, sorry. So if we close daily closes like that, you could possibly take a long, stops below the wick, back to those highs. Otherwise, structurally, it's still in a downtrend, and you're looking for the next lower low. Wherever that lower low is, and you get a little base like this, that's where you're going to long. I don't know where that's going to be because these candles look. Yeah, I don't know where that's going to be. Wherever the next lower low is, that's where you're going to long. But doesn't structurally look great. KMNO. Are the ETFs legit announced? I have no idea. I don't keep track of that. I've seen it all over X, and the SEC application apparently haven't looked close. Is Caleb still in here? No, he's not. Caleb should start an ETF bot. That'd be funny. Doge, yes. So we pumped because of the Doge initiative set in place, and it has the logo of the Dogecoin. That was the reason why we pumped. Now, like I mentioned when we had the flip, right? Mr. Worldwide, you're in my class. I think you saw, if you were there, you saw the original long that I gave in my class, right? So we bounced right from it. We flipped this into support. We bounced right from it. Now we are back under like resistance here. Like we're not bullish up until we are above this level. Um, so above 40 cents is where I'd consider going, adding more to my position. But if we take a look at this, right, we are putting in higher highs still. So bearish and bullish can be taken at the same time. This was one of the things that I don't know. I honestly can't tell if we're super bullish on this short term because right you have this bear flag type forming here. Invalidated if we're above this level, but until we get above 40 cents, I'm just saying hold because anything can happen, especially with, these Trump coins and the meme coins. Like all it takes is one mention of, Doge or, like him buying, AVE or ENA, stuff like that to set this off. So this is a coin, in my opinion, that TA currently will be thrown out the window because again, all you need is just one mention. So it's going to be very hard. But above this level, if we flip it into support, just like we did over here, we continue to run. We are failing to flip this into support, right? There's the breakout, there's the retest. We closed on it on the line, so we need to break out, retest, and close above, and that is your trigger to long. For me, I'm still in my original position from 38 cents. We TP'd at 42. But I still think that this is a hold until we lose this gray box. If 31, excuse me, If 31.5 down to 30 cents is lost, then this is going to be like if this breaks out here. Oops, this is inverted, so we're going to, if this breaks out here, this probably goes down to 20 cents, right? This is the bear flag that I was talking about. Now this is inverted, so it looks like a little bull flag, but or a descending channel, but that's what you get. So if this breaks down below 33 cents, you can take a short with stops above 35. But again, it's risky because all you need is just one mention of Doge. So I just think this is a hold and forget type of coin, not a trade type of coin. You only trade it when it becomes volatile. I'm reading. Got to go. Oh, thanks, Cam. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna call it here. I think I went through everything. I gotta get back to work here. So I'm gonna stop recording.